Good morning. Last Friday in the month of May, and we have a total pollen level this morning of high. What makes it higher? Moderate counts for oak, a moderate count for pine, fir, and spruce, and a moderate count this morning as well for mulberry. And we'd like to thank Reactant for helping us breathe a little easier on a fabulous Friday. A Friday that we're going to see a little bit of a change in the forecast. That change will come in the form of some cooler air that will push its way towards us. The reason for that cooler air, of course, is all due to a cold front that's going to push towards us as we work our way into the afternoon. Temperatures this morning sit right around 20 degrees on average. We already have humidex values out there of around 24. It's about mid-afternoon that we'll see that risk of some thunderstorm activity push its way towards the city of Toronto. Those lines will push through at about 3:30 in the afternoon and last till about 6 to 7 o'clock this evening. By the time we get to about 8 o'clock, it'll totally be pushed out of here. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up to a little bit of morning cloud cover, and then we'll get into some afternoon sunshine for your Saturday. But much cooler, more spring-like conditions for your weekend overall. Your daytime high today will be 24 degrees with that a humidex right around 28. As we head our way through the overnight tonight, we'll still see double-digit temperatures, but tomorrow a high just right around 22. And then as we work our way in through to Sunday, that is, temperatures of just 16 degrees. Morning lows on Sunday morning will be right around 6 degrees. So that's a little bit chilly, so get prepared for that. So take in this morning and this afternoon, keep your eyes to the skies with the risk of some thunderstorm activity. That's a look at your forecast. Now it's over to you, Steph, with a look at your traffic.
Thank you so much, Frankie. Yeah, this morning our traffic has been actually moving pretty well for the most part. It's Friday, so things are a lot lighter than usual, but we do have a couple of things going on. One thing outside of our view right now, eastbound Lakeshore at Lower Jarvis, we have a left lane block because of a collision. Delays on the eastbound Gardner ramp to Jarvis have subsided, but it is definitely a visual distraction. One visual distraction that has left the area, this issue we had on the westbound 401 west of Dixon in the right lane. That stalled vehicle now out of there. However, we are still looking at delays from Islington in the Express and Collector, so keep that in mind. And we are still watching this issue eastbound 401 near Leslie, where we do have the shoulder here blocked off because of a stalled vehicle. It's now on the shoulder, so not adding any volume through this area, but again, another visual distraction. We also have an issue still ongoing on the southbound DVP ramp to southbound Don Mills. It's partially blocked by a stalled truck, a tow truck now on the scene. Download hockey's favorite podcast, The Suspendables, and celebrate episode number 50 with Jim Jerome, Russ Cornell, and special guest Wayne Gretzky. Now I'll send things back upstairs to Mal with a look at your news.
Thank you so much, Steph. A third night of protests over George Floyd's death causing chaos in Minneapolis and surrounding area. As the National Guard arriving on scene, hundreds of buildings looted, damages as well as items and locations set ablaze.
What we have seen over the past several hours and the past couple of nights in terms of looting is unacceptable.
Minneapolis mayor saying that he understands the community is angry, but that the damage will not be tolerated. Anger continuing to mount over this video showing Floyd, who is black, being arrested, pinned down by a white officer who puts his knee to Floyd's neck. Floyd died shortly after. Now, further protests happening in several states, including Colorado and New York. We'll continue to follow this story here through the morning as it develops, including a CNN crew that has been arrested on the streets there. Well, the federal government is set to announce this morning millions of dollars in additional funding to help remote and rural Indigenous communities cope with the COVID-19 pandemic. And this funding will go toward hiring more health workers, building isolation facilities, as well as purchasing medical supplies and equipment. It will also help cover increases in the cost of living in remote communities brought on by the pandemic. A portion will also go toward building women's shelters. Prime Minister Trudeau is expected to make this announcement in Ottawa at 10:30 this morning. And according to a new poll, Canada's premier's popularity has jumped considerably during this crisis. Ontario's Premier Doug Ford leading the pack.
The fact that he's out there basically fighting for the people of Ontario and being seen to do that, I think that makes a huge difference.
The Angus Reid poll found Ford's popularity has increased 38%. That's followed by BC's John Horgan, up 25%, and Quebec's Francois Legault is up 19%. Alberta's Jason Kenney has seen a small increase at just 1%. All right, a lot of things to keep in mind this weekend if you plan to get around, including a major closure. Steph has been mentioning this all morning long, but here's your reminder. Again, the Gardner will be shut down starting late tonight for annual maintenance. All right, so the expressway shut down both directions from the 427 to the DVP. Drivers are being advised to plan ahead because even though there is less traffic out there because of COVID-19, it's still going to take some longer time to get to your destination. What are they going to be doing? Well, they're going to be filling those potholes, repainting the lines. The closure begins at 11 tonight. It's going to reopen at 5 a.m. Monday morning. And as part of Active TO, there are also some street closures in our city this weekend, encouraging people to get out, get some exercise while maintaining that distance. A couple of major ones, eastbound lanes of Lakeshore from Coxwell to just south of Woodbine, Bayview from Mill to Rosedale Valley. They're going to take place tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. until Sunday at 11 p.m. rather. You can go to our website for the full look at the closure, citynews.ca. All right, we're following some breaking news right now from our streets, and this is from the Jane and Shepherd neighborhood. Police called for reports of a man with a gun in the area, 2010 Shepherd Avenue West near Jane, around 5 this morning. This is a live look at the scene right now. You can see a heavy police presence. What we know, a foot pursuit here started as officers arrived. A male suspect then fled into a building. Police were able to secure this building. ETF teams eventually called in. There was a search of that building. Officers have now taken a male into custody. We know that a handgun has been recovered. Right now, we don't know if the person who's been transported to hospital is the suspect or perhaps a police officer. But as you can see here, this very much an active scene, so we'll continue to follow this developing story here this morning.